Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Collins, President and Artistic Director of the Detroit Jazz Festival Foundation, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to this very special edition of Detroit Jazz Festival's Jazz from the Cellar. We have a really special band here tonight because they represent ambassadors from our city, in this case most recently, to Japan, where they just finished a tour not a couple weeks ago in Tokyo and down in the Osaka area in Tottori and Takatsuki, and also with workshops at the universities in Kawasaki. So it was a really productive tour. The cats worked like crazy, all original music to present throughout, so that there was this feeling of the revitalized vision of innovation in Detroit jazz music, which is really what all the greats were about. They were about innovating and building on the past, and this band was put together to represent a whole collection of some alums from our J.C. Hurd Jazz Week program, some alums from the Wayne State University and Michigan State University and U of M, and bring them all together in a package to create new music, which they prepared so marvelously well. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that as we go through, because there's some really important people behind making that happen. But to get started, I think we need to have some music. So I'll turn it over to the one and only Detroit Jazz Festival All-Star Generations Band.
Detroit, how we doing? Konbanwa gozaimasu. Like, nah, I'm playing. That was a little Japanese. Y'all give it up for this band. This is the Ambassadors. Kassan Belgrave, alto saxophone. Louis Jones III on drums. Rocco Papialarski on the bass. And Tom Bartolome on the guitar. I'm Alan Denard. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. Thank you. We had a lot of fun in Japan. We were very honored and excited to be ambassadors. And we hope to continue to represent Detroit in that way, because Detroit has a lot to say across the world. Am I right? Yeah, so we gonna keep doing Detroit proud. And that first song was a selection by our drummer, and that was Louis Jones's "The Wicked." So now we are gonna give it up. And now we're gonna do a selection by Kassan Belgrave. This song is called "Side Dish."
the Detroit Jazz Festival All-Star Generations Band. Yeah. It's all right. All right. So you cats just back from Japan, yeah? Got your sea legs back? Yeah, I missed you too. I did. It was a rough one. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do it again. But Australia or something, you know. So my first question is, anybody got a good Japan story? Yeah, you got one?
So this was actually not my first time. Like all these guys was their first time to Japan. My mother's from Japan, so I visited Tokyo area every Christmas for like 15 years. So this is like my 16th time there, but this was my first time being around the whole country rather than just in Tokyo. So we went to Osaka, we went to Tottori, we went to one place in Osaka called Takatsuki. We were noticed that was like our last part of the trip, so that was like the party city. So like, you know, all the jazz clubs, late night hangs, all that. Like we were at this club, JK's Cafe in Takatsuki, and I think it went to like 5 a.m. every night for the jam sessions. Yeah, and so JK, he's the owner. His name is like Junichiro or something. JK, he owns JK's Cafe, JK's Bar, JK's, like it's Bird, JK. He has like four bars in Takatsuki. So like every night for the last 3 nights, we went out, jam sessions, and like he just gave us all types of food, drinks. Like it was amazing experience. We were treated so well there as jazz musicians and as just cultural, like an exchange, you know. So it was very nice. But yeah, all the hangouts late at night was, you know.
Shout out to JK. Give it out to JK for the cats. Thank you, man. Thank you. Now, jam sessions at Takatsuki, I get that. I don't think of Tokyo as the center of Christmas, but maybe it's just. Do you know, I went to a restaurant there once. It was called The Church. I'm not lying, in Tokyo. And you walk in, and it looks like a Catholic church inside with an altar, but they're serving food, man. It's funky, right? That's what's so interesting about learning about different cultures. You see the different perspectives and interpretations. I remember the first time I walked into a room there and, leaned against their house Buddhist sanctuary, and I just kind of leaned like it was a dresser or something. That man. So you learn a lot. You learn a lot about different people and how they live and how their history goes. You know, a big part of this was the music. All this. What do you think of this wonderful original music? Right? Fantastic. All band leaders and composers all around, and I'm going to come to Tom here, great composer in our city. But so this has to be coalesced, right, into a band sound, even though it works from different people. How did you guys prepare and deal and talk about the music and prepare it to be a set of cohesive compositions?
Well, we got together. Was it bi-weekly or weekly? It was weekly. We got together weekly, and we were just working through the material together and trying to understand the vision from each collective person, because we had tunes from all over the group. But there's nothing really. I feel like it really comes together once you start playing the hit. You got to get a couple underneath your belt. So what was it? Which show was the best? I think it was the second to last show, and we were finally like, oh, we're there. But that's how it goes.
I mean, all the rehearsal in the world doesn't compensate for the gigs, right? Once you're on the gigs, the new adrenaline comes together, and as you can hear in the compositions, the key and what I heard as you guys developed is, the composer has a vision, but the composer has to be very generous, as does everybody in the band, to give that over to the band and the individuals in it, because it's going to be different with this band than it is probably with the band your works were arranged for. I'm going to talk to the tallest guy in the band over here. He's just like 12. You were tall. Yeah. Your first time in Japan, yeah?
First time. I definitely got a story.
You tell it. It's family show.
It's not that explicit. But no, we were in Shibuya, and we played at this club called The Lizard. And first off, the smallest jazz club I've ever played in my life. When I tell you, like, we set up and we were like really shoulder to shoulder with the crowd, and but it was really intimate. It was really cool. But what I remember is I asked for some because I'm in Japan, so I want to try their sake. I definitely want to try it. So I was like, yeah, can I get some sake or something? And one of our guides, Tak, he was like, oh yeah, you can have this, but just be careful. And I'm just like, I'm thinking he's telling me that because I'm a jazz musician and he don't want me to get too messed up. And I'm like, I'm a grown man, Tak. I'm a grown man. But little did I know, I took a couple shots and and then I looked on the bottle and it said 35%. And then I'm like, so that's why he said be careful with this. And I was feeling good, the music was great. But by the end of the night, I was like, man, that's why he told me. Because I was feeling good. But no, it was a good experience, and it was just good to just be a part of this culture that I've never experienced before. And the people were lovely, and the music it's really different to come from the western part of the world and to go over here to Asia and just see how they live and how they appreciate us, the Western people, and it was nothing but love. It was nothing but love, nothing but love.
You must be drinking shochu, it's called. Shochu is a type of sake that's real high alcohol content. And you're like 35% of what? Right? I'll take you there, man. Yeah, good, man. Great. Well, you sound beautiful tonight, of course. A big part of any artist's experience is traveling the world, meeting other cultures, engaging with them, learning from their music, because their music is non-Western, the traditional music, and there's a lot to listen to there rhythmically and harmonically. And I'm going to come over here to Louis. Louis, did you have any experience with either Japanese jazz musicians or any of the traditional music there? I see you got the outfit rocking, man. What did you pick up anything that you brought home as like, wow, this is different than what I've experienced elsewhere?
I feel they definitely have a freer approach. The students and some of the musicians out there, they really playing what's coming to their head. It's like a mind flow state, flow state kind of thing. It was really interesting to see over there how they interpreted like some of our like standards, and like they didn't play it like the record. They wholly tried to make it their own, and I really appreciated that.
Very cool, very good. Yeah, it seems every culture you go to, they're going to have a different perspective and approach to your music, and when they often experience American musicians, Detroit musicians, they're going to have that same kind of feeling, like this is really different. And I think it's why it's so important to play together in different cultures, because the music transcends the language issue, but you end up sharing things at a visceral level, almost unconscious, that you bring back with you, and that is the key to being a great artist, is to contain that and reflect it in your music. And I'm sure you guys are already thinking of ways it can, and it'll come out as you go through your life, remembering those experiences, or walking by a river and seeing like a monstrous carp go by. Like, whoa, you write a whole tune about that moment. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Rocco, the second tallest guy in the band. Rocco Popularski graduated from Wayne State. You've been out there playing all over the place, and how was it to have, it's the thing I love, I think what we all strive for in this music, to go on tour and play truly creative improvised music. That's quite an experience, yeah?
Certainly quite an experience. And the Japanese audiences, I mean, you gotta love them. They listen very attentively, and they know when to clap, and it's just, you feel the love coming back to you, This music is about connecting people, and I think they really understand that. Made us feel very welcome and appreciated.
Wow, that's beautiful. And you talk about the Lizard, which I know the bar is here, the band is here, and there's like 12,000 people that we do in the bar. It's a lot of small places. But we got Takasugi and the little places in the hall and Satori, pretty big crowds, man.
Big crowds, big festival crowds, and but still, that didn't change. They're as soon as the band walks on stage, even for a sound check, the din of the crowd vanishes, and they're intently focused on what's happening on stage.
Super cool. Well, I'm going to get out of the way and let you guys play some more of this wonderful music. I'm so elated, the whole Jazz Festival Foundation team, whenever we do these, every year, these exchanges in different parts of the world, but to be able to do it with aspiring musicians like yourselves, guys that many of us knew when you were quite young, and now you've progressed to be the leaders in the community, and to take that as a unit to another country and show sort of the present and even future of Detroit jazz, that respect for the past, but that search to be innovative and fresh and unique and individual as an ensemble. That warms all of our hearts, and it's worth all of the efforts and all the donations that you might want to give to make sure that people like this can be out there in the world showing the best of what our city has to offer. So congratulations, guys. Welcome home from all of us, and let's hear some more music. Yeah.
We got one more for y'all. Give it up for this band one more time. Kassan Belgrave on the alto saxophone. Louis Jones III on the drums. Rocco Papiolarski on the bass. And Tom Bartlome on the guitar. I'm Alan Denard on the trumpet. We thank y'all so much. That last one you just heard is from Tom Bartlome, and that was called Heartstrings. And this last one we're gonna play for you guys is another composition by Tom, and this is called Crow Call. Thank you guys so much, Detroit. We love you. It's good to be back. y'all so much. Thank y'all.
Check one. Alan Denard, Kassan Belgrave, Louis Jones III, Rocco Popularski, Tom Bartlemy, the Detroit Jazz Festival Generations All-Star Band. Yeah, cats, bravo. Bravo. Woo. Yeah, man. And we want a very special thanks. This is a part of our Next Gen initiative, thanks to the great jazz philanthropist and supporter, Carolyn Wanzo, who started the program. She's got all kinds of wonderful ways to invite you all to help fund these next-gen performances that happen throughout the year and, of course, at the Jazz Festival itself. In addition, we'd like to thank the family of Eric Hurd. He is the son of J.C. Hurd, and the J.C. Hurd Jazz Week spawned many of the aspiring artists on this stage, and in fact, after about 18 years, it spawned quite a few generations. So very special thanks to Eric Hurd and his family, who generously fund that program each and every year. And by the way, yes, give it up for Eric and the great J.C. Hurd. Yep. And he has a very special initiative out. If you go to DetroitJazzFest.org, you can see an amazing art print that's from his father's personal collection. J.C. Hurd at the drums, it's a beautiful art print, and it's got signatures by just tens and tens of amazing, legendary jazz artists that his father played with over the years. And the program is such that he has numbered limited editions of the art print, and for a $1,000 donation to support the J.C. Hurd Jazz Week program, you get this beautiful one-of-a-kind art print to hang up in your home. It's very, very special, along with all the other posters and things at the Detroit Jazz Fest Vintage Store. So check it out. Check out Miss Carolyn Wanzo and her Next Gen initiative, which is on the website. And until next time, either here live every second and fourth Monday of the month from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. You're welcome to be in the live audience for the tapings, and broadcast every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just go to DetroitJazzFest.org. Register if you're not registered. It's free, and you'll hear about everything first. And start to get excited, because Detroit Jazz Festival, man, once I hear Memorial Day, I know Detroit Jazz Festival right around the corner. So I hope you're looking forward to it like I am. Until I see you next time, stay jazzy. Thank you so much. Have a great night.